can take seats over there. All right. All right. Thank you for coming out, everybody. My name is Matt Ulmer. I'm the chair of the Wake County Libertarian Party. Appreciate y'all coming out and enjoying some free food. We do have a minimum, so feel free to enjoy an adult beverage while you're here, but still remember you have to drive home safe and responsibly. I do realize that soon an important hockey game will be starting. That's fine. If you want to check scores out of the corner of your eye on your phone or whatever, but if you ask me to repeat something silly because you're watching a hockey game, that's fine. Okay. I want to thank Ryan and Patrick for helping put this together. Brian Irving put some work together. Brad, Amy, Ken, a lot of people participated to make sure this comes together for us. And thank you, Tobacco Road. With that in mind, I'd like to get going. We have a lot to do tonight. I know we do want to see the end of that hockey game. So there should be an agenda coming up. And we will get the agenda on the screen. And I'm sure somebody will have a motion to accept the agenda. We will all say yes. All say aye. Fantastic. And off we go. All right, so what's the first on this? Me, state of the party. Some of these numbers, for most of you who have been out here before, you heard 2018 was a great year for us, and we built on 2016. We had 14 candidates run for North Carolina General Assembly, both congressional districts that cover Wake County. Michael Monaco, who ran for State Court of Appeals, was out of Wake County. And we also had Tim Jowers run for County Commissioner. For those of you who don't remember, Tim and his family were killed in a car crash. And for me, this kind of sets up what I want to talk about tonight, because we as a group made so much progress that we're attracting some really quality people. I didn't really realize just how great of a person Tim Jowers was until I went to his memorial service. And you realize how active he was in his church, how much his community cared about him. And I feel like we're attracting more and more people like that. Like you guys have done such a good job that the people now that are coming to the party are really people who are already leaders in their community. They're great family members. They're just really good people. And so I was really, obviously we're going to Tim, it's sad, but I think for me it kind of crystallized the kind of people this party is attracting now. So I'm very happy with that. And that recruiting has really benefited us in a lot of ways. Obviously, we have people with real skills as far as their expertise, whether that's Amy, Brad's been a treasurer for some time, Brian Irving with traditional media. But now we have people like Steve, Brian Hessel. We have new people coming in that are participating in growing the party, and it becomes sort of a loop where it basically feeds on itself as we continue to have success. And we're having an impact. Whether you believe it or not, people are noticing. It speaks volumes that, in 2018, I know there was some ruffled feathers, but it's a good thing when people from other parties and other organizations want to come speak to you, and we need to understand that we did so well in 2018, they're going to be back in 2020. They're going to want to talk to us, they're going to want to build bridges with us and find common ground, and we need to continue to be different. We need to be positive people focused on outreach. We need to not have our feathers ruffled when people want to come talk to us, because that's important. The fact that ending gerrymandering was a big issue, particularly for Brian Irving and Brad Hessel and the party as a whole. And the fact that Representative Joe John, and that is his signature issue, wanted to come talk to us about gerrymandering and redistricting reform, that speaks volumes. In Wake County now, whether it's ACLU, League of Women Voters, MC Justice, John Locke Foundation, they know who we are. They know we put on great events. They know we are active, and they know we're going to run candidates. So they want to come talk about their issues. So we move their issue forward. You're having an impact. When I work a polling line and be like, hey, I met Brian Hessel and knocked on my door and I voted for him, that's great stuff. So goals. Because we've talked about the success in 2018 a number of times, especially with this group, I think for me it's more important that we remind ourselves what we need to get done in 2020. 2016 was a success. 2018 was a success. We need to build, and we build by doing and paying attention to the lessons we've already learned. We had 10 and 80 do training where we talked about sharing the concern, how to do outreach in a positive way. Did so well in 2018 as far as registering candidates. Robin Turner came out to talk to us. That's important, and it makes us very different than some of our competitors, and it makes us a unique appeal to a lot of voters. We're going to do really well in 2020. I really believe that. Because you're going to have people focused at the top of the ticket. We have all these people running for General Assembly and County Commissioner who are sharing a message about being positive, and we have good people like Tim Jower spreading that message. People who are kind, compassionate people talking to voters about issues that matter. Because people, as we saw with Robin Turner and other stuff doing his discussions with us, they lower their guard. Around Libertarians, people from the other two parties and unaffiliated voter groups, they lower their guard a little bit and they're willing to listen. So we need to continue to have a positive message. We need to continue to educate. We need to continue to let people know with more freedom and greater liberty that there are solutions for them under that umbrella. Because they want to listen. They really are upset with what's in front of them. And so I hope you guys can continue to work very hard. I'm incredibly proud of so many of you. I mean, it's been a real, for me, it's been very personally rewarding to be chair for the last 2 years. So basically, my message to this group, being who you are, is A, thank you. You guys did a lot of great work the last 2 years. Very proud of you. And I hope you can take that forward over the next 2 years. I hope you have the juice, and I hope you can continue to bring in great people. Because it wasn't just the candidates. I mean, we had people step up to be treasurer. You know, that's not really a glamorous job, but that's the kind of stuff we need. 3 years ago, we had a treasurer, maybe Robert Rose, too. So, anyway, with that in mind, I think the party's on track. I think we're going to continue to grow. We just need to stay positive. So, with that, we're going to move into the president. Any questions for me? Anybody have anything else you want to throw out? Yeah. So, that was me talking. Yeah. Where's the rest of my tennis? Just a quick note, we do follow the Democratic Rules of Order. As important for me, if you raise your hand, please know what you're going to say before you begin speaking and stay to the point. It's not directed at any one person, it's just a broad message. And because I want to keep this on track, if you have a silly motion, you will get a silly shutdown. Do remember with the free food, we still have a minimum to hit. So like I said, orders and drinks. And don't be afraid to donate to the WakeLP this week. We'd love to have the money. And as we vote for officers and new leadership, I remind you all, competition is good. We're libertarians. Competition is good. So if you really want that job, you know, don't do cigars and backrooms and other stuff. If you want it, go for it. With that in mind, our financial report will be Brad Hessel. He will tell us how many millions we have.
So everybody knows that my name is Brad Hessel, and I'm the treasurer of the Wake County Party. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we have done. And the chart that you're looking at, basically, it shows a relative comparison of three larger parties in Wake County. We have 5 parties in Wake County. And have data on the other 2 to when they're too new yet. Over the last several years. And as you can see, this is dollars raised per registered voter. So we've done really well here. The vector is great. Obviously, we've improved a lot over the last 5 years. And if you look at 2018, it shows that the Democrats raised about 50 cents for every registered Democrat in Wake County. This is the Wake County Democratic Party we're talking about. The Wake GOP raised about 75 or 80 cents for every registered Republican in the county. And we raised nearly $3 per registered Libertarian in Wake County in 2018. So we are punching well above our weight, relatively speaking, but of course, in terms of absolute dollars, we're still pretty far behind. We raised $14,600 in 2018, which broke the previous all-time record of $11,100, which was set way back in 2002, which is nice. But the D's and R's in Wake County each raised 10 times more than we did last year. So we do not need $150,000 per year to be competitive in Wake County. Thank you. But we do need considerably more than $15,000, and we know we can do better. That $11,000 I mentioned back in 2002 amounted to $9.80 for registered Libertarian back then. If we were to match that today, we'd be talking about $60,000. With a budget like that, we could make things very interesting in Wake County from a political point of view. Next slide, please. So it wasn't just money. We did very well in 2018 in a lot of areas. The most registered Libertarians ever, over 5,000 at the end of the year. The most ever on the ballot. The most votes for a Libertarian ever in Wake County for a Libertarian candidate. That's an especially impressive record because we were talking about an off-year election where the turnout is lower. So kudos to Mike Monaco and Mike Monaco Jr. who managed this campaign. There are other superlatives. We ended up with the most likes ever on our Facebook page, the most followers on Twitter, and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. And we also spent the most money we've ever spent in a single year, over $16,000. We spent more than we took in because cleverly we had banked some money in late 2017, knowing we were going to spend a lot in 2018. I'm not going to go over the detail here. Suffice it to say, we spent most of our money on recruiting, training, and supporting our candidates, our 18 candidates who ran in Wake County with various things, social media, and so on and so forth. If you're interested in more detail, there is a detailed treasurer's report on the WakeLP website. Next slide, please. Oh, well, it's supposed to say WakeLP.org, but that's easy enough for you guys to remember that you don't need to be looking at it. So anyway, I think it's the second article on the main page. If you go, it says 2018 return on investment or something like that. So great job. Look forward to more. I'm going to talk a little bit later about where we're going in the future financially wise.
All right. Next event or next item on the agenda is Matt is going to tell us why we're all going to Wilmington at the end of May. Like we are all going to Wilmington at the end of May. He's just going to tell you how great it's going to be. But I know you're going.
Yeah, well, for starters, I think one of the most important things for everybody to keep in mind here in Wake is that the entire state really needs to hear the amazing news about what Wake was able to do in the last cycle, 2018. It's really a model for the state, and so it's critically important for people across the state to emulate and try to follow the path that WakeLP has set. Yes, thank you, sorry. So the state convention is coming up May 31st to June 2nd. It's on the campus at UNC-W. You can go to lpnc.org, and that will take you basically to the landing page that's currently set up. So right now, we've got it all arranged that the convention is set up pretty much in the whole same area. We've got pretty much the whole university to ourselves at that point, and we've got on-site housing, parking right in between, right with Bell Hall, and then the Work Center. So we've got meals for Saturday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, gala dinner on Saturday, as well as trying to keep the tickets very affordable for everybody. I mean, Wilmington, I don't know if you've ever seen the rack race for a hotel in Wilmington, or after Memorial Day, it's worth it. So this is an opportunity for people to get a chance to go to Wilmington very affordably and get a chance to network. And one of the most important things about the convention is the fact that you get a chance to meet libertarians and get a chance to catch up with everyone, as well as see excellent guest speakers. I know personally, I have two libertarians that are really influential to me. One of them is Dr. Mary Ruwart. She ran for president for the LP, I think it was in 2008. Yes. She's a noted author, activist, and it will be amazing to get the opportunity to hear her talk. I know her book, Healing the World, is one of the most influential ways that I've learned about how to speak about libertarian policy to people. And so I really recommend you get the opportunity to go and see her talk and see all of the written papers that we've got. I'm absolutely thrilled. My other libertarian role model is Dr. Mike Unger. Unfortunately, he won't be at the convention, but he ran for governor. So we also have two different tiers of breakout sessions. This is going on Saturday afternoon. So basically the way the convention works out, everybody's going to come down Friday, check in, get assignments, and then start business after breakfast on Saturday morning. Normally business goes from about 9 to noon, then we have breakout sessions. That's the opportunity where we get an opportunity to have educational panels, get people a chance to go out and connect and talk. So right now, as far as we have an amazing one with Jim Doty for press relations and to run some different opportunities about how to interact with the press, which is critically important for our candidates as well as our local affiliates. We also have a group, Normal, the National Organization for Reform of Marijuana Laws, that is going to be talking about outreach and discussing that. We also have social media, how to go viral. And then Dr. Ruwart's going to have a breakout as well. I don't know if we've officially nailed that one yet. We've got all that set up. And then we also have a number of different resolutions. I know Brian Irvin's going to go over one of the resolutions that he's going to present. I definitely want you to listen to this resolution. It's going to be absolutely critical, especially considering at this point, it looks like that the body of the Libertarian Party for the state is going to be the ones making the decision. Whether the Libertarian Party leaves the primaries open to any unaffiliated voter to select. There are pros and cons for that, but it's of critical importance, and as well as the rest of the business of the party, electing the executive committee. Hopefully we can get some amazing candidates to run for state chair, vice chair, treasurer, and also the at-large. So the bylaws committee has a big report to go over. They've worked really, really, really hard, and I think that you'll be really pleasantly surprised at the depth and comprehensiveness of their reports. And if anybody has any if anybody needs to register, you can go to lpnc.org. Multiple packages are available. We are outside of the early bird pricing, so that bird is what we do. We do have a lot of great opportunities. We'll also have the opportunity to have some luxury suites for people to be able to have. It's basically the only time you can't have alcohol is in public spaces. So it should be a lot. Rooming is obviously Friday and Saturday nights, food and beverage. Consider other Saturday breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Sunday breakfast. So when you consider $199 for 2 nights stay at UNCW and 4 meals as well as all the business, we try to keep it as affordable as we could. And so we do need a commitment for a number of people to make sure that it's successful. And does anybody have any questions? Any questions, concerns? I was hoping that I'd hear like some massive applause in the background to hear the Hurricanes score. Thank you very much. Questions?
I can't imagine there'd be any questions since everybody already has their tickets and they're just working on who they're going to carpool with at this point. All right, let me see, what is next? WakeLP plan of organization. That's going to be presented by Brian Irving. Just real quick, this is kind of like our charter. Much of what we're just cleaning up, just a little grammar, a little tidiness with the English language, and then primarily we're bringing our membership in line with the state's current membership rules. So we're not reinventing the wheel here with this presentation or what we're trying to accomplish. So I'm hoping this is fairly quick and not 30 points of order, but we'll let Brian do his work. Thank you.
Okay, yes, David said, yeah, use the mic.
Microphone, please.
We reviewed the plan of organization, and I'm sure everybody has read it because it's been online for at least a month. There's copies back there, old school like me, want a hard copy. But basically, in Articles 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8, we basically made editing and formatting changes, clarifying the wording. The only two substantive changes in Article 3, we changed our definition of membership to align with what the state party uses for membership. Actually, they have members and associates. Clarified that. And in Article 5, we deleted basically some antiquated language about directors and all that. So we made simplified the appointment of committees and other positions. So with that, I will make a motion to approve the changes of the plan of organization. Discussion?
So in all seriousness, are there any questions or concerns? I mean, so basically we just tidied ourselves up and brought ourselves in line with the state, meaning registered Republicans and registered Democrats don't vote on our party business, correct? So, no questions? Call the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so Wake County does not have a regular mayor, but we will work to find one. All right. Anybody still hear me with this one? Hope so? I think that is a yes. Everyone, you can hear me? Can't really hear right now.
A little loud,
It's a little low, but we'll make it. All right, so next on the agenda is the election of officers, your Wake EC. So that is chair, vice chair, treasurer, secretary, and one at-large position. So, on that note, I will open the floor nominations for chair.
Nominations over for a second.
So I will keep it brief since I already talked quite a bit. You guys are a great group. And this is a lot of fun for me. It's a very rewarding person. My hope is in 2020, maybe I don't have to run it. I can spend more time on candidates. Done it twice now. I feel like I have a little more to get back in mentoring, and I feel like we're going to be very busy in 2020. Love to have the job, so anybody else wants it? Love you, David. I also sometimes, yeah. Anyway, I guess call the vote. I guess there isn't any. All in favor? Aye. All right. Well, that's done. So I guess I do this job again. Nominations for vice chair. Wake County Libertarian Party. Bruce has something. Travis Drew. Travis, are you interested in the job? Okay, so Travis is interested. Any other nominations? You got a second back there? Yeah. Okay, either way. Is there anyone else who would be interested in being vice chair of the Wake County Libertarian Party? All right then. All in favor of Travis for being vice chair of the Wake County Libertarian Party? This is going quick. Travis, good you have anything you wanted to share? Did you have anything you wanted to say? Focus, not right now, okay. Moving down the line, nominations for treasurer of the Wake County Libertarian Party.
I nominate Brad Hessel.
Steve has nominated Brad Hessel. I don't think the nominations have to be seconded, but it's good that Brian's confirmed that we don't have to, but that's fine. He got a second, that's great. Is there anyone else who would be interested in being treasurer? The good news, and I mean this in all seriousness, the good news is for once, we actually have multiple people capable of doing the job. Like in 2016, I was like, when somebody else said they wanted to be treasurer, I was just like, no. But is there anyone else who would be interested in being treasurer for the Wake County Party? Once, going twice. All in favor of Brad Hessel? Oh, that's right, Brad Hessel. Brad? Sorry about that, Brad.
So my name is Brad Hessel. I'm running for treasurer of the Wake County Libertarian Party. Fortunately, I have no opposition, so I can talk about anything I want to. What I would like to talk about is where we're going. As I mentioned, we need to do better than we are doing financially to become competitive in Wake County. So the question is, how do we get there? Okay, I have a vision. I see a free, peaceful, and prosperous North Carolina where every individual has the opportunity to pursue her or his unique vision of a rewarding and fulfilling life. How many folks can see that vision? Let's have a show of hands. Okay, so for the few of you who haven't raised your hands, we do have some official visionaries. Brian Irving and Ken Petkowski, please raise your hands. After we're done with the meeting, you can flip these guys up and they can help you out if you want to have a better chance of being able to see this vision. Okay, so now another question. Who believes that life in North Carolina would be better? Not only for you, your family, but for all of your fellow citizens as well, if we could move in the direction of that vision. Whether you see it or not, do you think it's a better thing or not? Please raise your hand. All right, so we seem to have a consensus there. So now the question is, if you are interested in this vision and you'd like to participate and help to come to fruition, let's say for the sake of argument, you have some modest amount of time or energy or money or any combination of those things that you can kick into the kitty to help out. How can you deploy those resources in the most effective way to move the ball as far down the field as you can? I have a suggestion. So, okay, one option is you can donate to the Libertarian Party, the National Libertarian Party. And a lot of folks in Wake County do that. Every decade or so, the federal government decides to get involved in another war or to reform healthcare or something else that does affect our lives. So that's important, and we do want to have some skin in that game. So that's a good choice. Another alternative is you could donate to the LPNC, the Libertarian Party of North Carolina. And in fact, every now and then the state government decides that we're too clueless to know where to go to the bathroom, or that we need help to figure out what to drink and when to drink it, or something else. So yes, that's also an important place for us to have influence over the decisions that are made. So that's a good choice. But if you think about it, in terms of government effect on your life, the most decisions that affect your life that are made by government are not made in Washington or not made by the General Assembly. They're made in your local municipality or county, in our case, of course, Wake County.
Bring back Bird.
That's right. And what's the other one?
Lime.
Lime, right, lime and Bird. So we're talking about local business regulation, education, municipal and county services, recreation, transportation, zoning, all these decisions are made locally. The thing is, you actually have more influence over these decisions, potentially, than over the state or federal decisions, because the folks making those decisions are typically people you know, or people that know people that you know, or people that live in your neighborhood or in an adjoining neighborhood. They're much more accessible. Not only that, but it doesn't take as many resources to influence these decisions, these local decisions, as it does to influence the state and on the federal level. So what we have here is what we would like to propose as an ideal distribution of whatever you can contribute to realizing this vision of better North Carolina. And we break it down: local 60%, state 30%, and national 10%. Next slide, please. So every year, the Libertarian Party of North Carolina analyzes the donations made by North Carolinians. They do this, they have to do this because the number of delegates that your county affiliate is entitled to at the state convention is dependent on the number of donors. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit later, the Wake County delegates to the state convention. So here you have the latest data we have on the number of donors that live. This is in North Carolina, not Wake County, all of the whole state. And as you can see, this is exactly the opposite of the way we want it to be. So we have lots of folks who have donated to the National Libertarian Party, 400 people in North Carolina. Way, way more than have donated to the state party that have donated to local affiliates. We're at somewhere between 40 and 50. This is statewide numbers. It counts Wake County and all the other affiliates. There aren't that many other affiliates who are regularly collecting donations, but still, it's a pathetic number. So, where do we go to fix this, to make this chart look like the previous one? That's where our focus is going to be for the remainder of 2019 and 2020. Where we're going to start is we have the names and in most cases, the phone numbers and email addresses of every donor to the National Party. There are 70 current paid donors to the National Libertarian Party in Wake County. And there are something like 500 former donors who are not current donors. They don't show up on this card. There are folks that used to donate or have donated one time to National but haven't recently. So that's the low-hanging fruit. We're going to be contacting those folks and explaining what I just said, that it makes sense for them to think about donating to the state and the county. How many here are donors to the National Party? Okay, a few of you. So there are several that are not. I just want to say that you don't need to stand on ceremony. If I had persuaded you that it's a good idea to donate to the WakeLP, don't wait for my phone call. Please go ahead. Next slide, please. There it is. WakeLP.org. I forgot I moved it. So that's our website. And if you have a donation to make, you click on the donate button. If you are interested in volunteering and donating some time, there's a volunteer button. So that's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. Oh yes, vote for me, Professor. Thank you very much.
All right. All in favor of Brad Hessel for Treasurer, Wake County?
Aye.
Fantastic. Still have one more slot to fill. Our at-large for our EC of 5. We have
No, secretary.
Secretary.
Oh, so I'm sorry. Sorry. Nominations for secretary to the WakeLP. Doesn't need to be seconded, but we have Patrick nominated. Anyone else interested in being secretary of the WakeLP? Any other nominations? Patrick, do you have a speech you'd like to give? Okay.
I'd like to thank everybody for nominating me again. Just want to let you know we're going to continue doing plenty of outreach, fun events. You know, we're going to if there's an event in Wake County and there's an outreach in Wake County, we're going to be there. We need to get out there, just keep exposing the Libertarian brand to people, letting them know that all the preconceived notions about us are not true.
All right, we'll vote. Yep, I'm on. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna ask you. And then our last position, truly this time, is our at-large position on the Wake County Executive Committee. Nominations for the at-large position. Bruce. Right, that's one. Is there anyone else that would be? Brad is, that's to get the vote. Fantastic. All right, this is good stuff. Bruce, would you like to alternate here? You guys can chat.
Well, you know, it's been an incredible honor to be your vice chair for the last 2 years, plus a little bit, I believe, like that. And it's been wonderful, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. But the important thing is, I think, for a party like ours, is to have, you know, other people bringing in, new life and new ideas. And that is exactly why when I worked on with Travis on his campaign, I was admired his energy and so many things, running up and down streets in Cary with Victoria and seeing all the signs around the intersection of Kildare Farm and Maynard. Every corner had the Travis, it's brew time, and so I just admire his energy. So, but the question is not about Travis, it's about me. Why am I moving? And the answer is simply just, we need energy, we need, what's the right word? Turnover, we need competition, we need all these good ideas to come in. I am not going anywhere, I'm going to be here just as often as I ever have been. Nothing's changing in my position. I just want more people involved, and I think this is an excellent way to do it. So, I'm happy to be your at-large member. I will continue just as I have, and I appreciate your vote. Thanks very much. Sorry, question. Yes. It means you have to be very tall, like above a certain height. So I think my opponent is not going to be able to beat me on that particular category. So, what does it mean to be at large? Yeah, so at large is a member of the EC, so it rounds out the membership on the executive committee, and it gives us an odd number, which is useful, so we can settle. Yeah, otherwise we would be, hung between the two factions. But yeah, that's one of the functions as well. It provides additional volunteership for the EC. And I'll turn it over to my erstwhile opponent here.
So it prevents a 2-2 tie when the Wake EC has a little discussion.
So I have to say, I have always been humbled by the support that I've gotten from this group. Starting off from a position as chair and where we were able to bring the party by standing behind the values of being good people. Not the idea that we want to run away at private caves, but that the idea that our society advances and grows better when we're engaged and we voluntarily cooperate with society and move forward with things that are most important to us in the ways in which they're most important to us. It is a beautiful thing to see that the progress of our party is not done through trying to oust or turn over or push out, but rather that as we grow, as that fresh blood comes in and we reinvigorate. I'm the one who nominated Bruce. Prior to being here, Bruce came to me and said, this is something I'd like to do. My participation in the party is not going to end. My access and availability to all of you through whatever I can do to support the cause of liberty will not end.
There are other avenues that I will pursue and continue to pursue, and I'm here to be your advocate as well. And I support Bruce's place on the board and appropriate growth for that board. I'm humbled by your support. I'm honored by your support. I'm glad to be part of this. My humanity is so reinvigorated by this movement and by what we do here in Wake County. We are leaders of the country. Is better than other territories. So with that, we're being better humans. Support Bruce.
Hello. Sorry. I changed to speak the mic to so, I mean, we did have 2 people nominated, so we're gonna have the vote. All in favor of Bruce, who is endorsed by Brian, say aye or raise your hand so I can count. Give me something. Matt doesn't get the vote. Are you counting? I can count 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 17. All in favor of Mr. Lewis? 2. 17 to 2. You could have voted for yourself, but thank you. Thank you for serving on the EC for the last 2 years. And it also means if I get sick of Bruce, technically I can't fire somebody, but I probably could. So I now know I have somebody I can bring off the bench for any more problems with Bruce. All right. So we have a new Wake EC for 2019 to 2021. Thank you for voting and participating. Good stuff. Here's the part where I depend heavily on delegates. So the LPNC convention, which we're all going to, Matt told us to. Wake County is entitled or has 52 delegates, so we can send 52 representatives. I would love to at least get into the 40s. That would be fantastic. Joy Elliott said, she definitely wants to be a delegate. So, is there anyone here who is, if they're here and they're going, they just need to basically let us know when they're taking another name. Can you help with that, or will this go through? Oh, that's right. And we can start that list now, I believe. Go ahead.
I think everybody who is already on the state executive will automatically be delegate, shouldn't be counted against.
I believe that's correct. I don't think that counts against our 52. That would be an interesting problem. Oh, Mr. Irving has something in the back. Brad made that.
I move to authorize the county chair to appoint anyone who wishes to attend the LPNC state convention as a delegate of Wake County.
There's already a motion on the floor.
Simply notifying the state chair that they're going.
All right. Second?
County chair.
Second. Motion to approve or vote? Let's vote. All in favor? Aye. Man, these are easy meetings.
As a point of information, if you show up in Wilmington and you're a member of the LPNC, the convention's going to make you a delegate anyway.
I don't think we've ever run into the issue where we had people from Wake show up.
That will definitely be the case, but I would be absolutely thrilled and will contribute 2 rooms for a hospitality suite if Wake brings 40 people. Now, alcohol not included, that's just the rule. It's Wake, alcohol is always included.
So with that in mind, and after we wrap up the meeting, we're going to try to get a list together of who we know. Love to know who's going. Hopefully everybody is going. Yes. Yes, I'm looking into cockles. So we just finished that. The last item, I know. Okay, so actually, I'm glad we're ahead of schedule. Things are actually, in spite of my something not quite on point issues with our rules. We're on track as far as time, and that's good because the next item coming up, I would like some thoughtful discussion about this one and not just instant aye, because it will be discussed at the LPNC convention. It's been discussed on social media quite a bit already. Mr. Irving is going to take us through consideration of closing LPNC primaries. He'll get into the details, but basically, as you know, knowing that unaffiliated during primaries can show up, there have been issues where a significant number of unaffiliated voters show up and support a candidate who is in no way libertarian. Just not in some cases, and that's a concern for a lot of members. So we have, as a state party, the right to basically ask the state of North Carolina to close our primaries. We would have to be a registered libertarian to vote in our primaries. There are pros and cons, and I will let Mr. Irving grab the mic and go through his resolution.
There's copies, again, for all people, there's copies here. Pieces of paper. This is a proposed resolution for this convention, and I'll just read it. The resolution contains the arguments. Whereas under North Carolina election statute, the Libertarian Party of North Carolina has little control over who can run for office as a Libertarian. Anyone can affiliate with the party and register to vote and qualify to run for office as a Libertarian. If more than one person files, the state conducts a primary to determine the party's nominee. Whereas the only decision the party can make is whether or not to allow unaffiliated voters to participate. Since gaining ballot status, the LPNC Executive Committee has chosen to allow unaffiliated voters to participate in Libertarian primaries. Whereas in several Libertarian primaries, political opportunists who do not hold to Libertarian principles, and in one case, it openly disavowed Libertarian principles, have attempted to hijack the nomination. Whereas, unlike the establishment party, the Libertarian Party has ideals, values, and principles, as well as a valued reputation and brand identity. Whereas the Libertarian Party of North Carolina platform holds that a political party, not the state, who can be solely determine who runs under its banner in an election. Parties should be able to select their candidates in any manner they choose, and whereas our party policy and practice should reflect the values, goals, and objectives stated in our party platform. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Libertarian Party of Wake County urges the Executive Committee of the Libertarian Party of North Carolina to immediately notify the NC State Board of Elections that under the provisions of state law, Bill Statute 163A-989, unaffiliated voters are no longer eligible to vote in Libertarian primaries. I'll take questions. For those of you who may not know background, the default position for the state is that only people registered in that party can vote in that party's primaries. Parties have the option of telling the state, we want unaffiliated voters to vote. The establishment parties have done that. The Libertarian Party has done it since we got permanent ballot status in 2008. So what we would have to do is tell the state no more, and then we go to the default position. It's the only thing we have to do as far as our party.
What's the downside?
I don't see any downside. Now, that would be for somebody who is in favor of keeping on problem.
The question was, what's the downside of this? So that was the answer. So I'm going to call on people. We're going to go around. Keep the mic, and I'll repeat the question. Katie?
Do we know how big of a problem this is in the Libertarian primary? There was one case where there was somebody who disavowed libertarian, who's running as a libertarian. But as I recall, the total number of votes he received were fewer than the total number of registered libertarians in that trial. Had libertarians actually shown up to the polls to vote in the primary, he wouldn't have been on the So, just, you know, are we potentially excluding people who are libertarian leaning from voting in a primary at the expense of something that affects a very small percentage of actual voters?
Question?
In Randolph County, we had a person that won the Libertarian nomination who said, I'm not a Libertarian.
I killed the battery. He openly said he didn't believe in it. But to answer your question, it is not. No, it's not a big deal right now. It's not a big deal right now. But as we go bigger, it could become a big deal. My only reason for this, there are many good arguments for opening our primaries to unaffiliated voters. I've got outreach. Although most polls I see say 90% of unaffiliated voters are actually Ds and Rs, and very few are actually unaffiliated, and a lot of them vote strategically. My only reason for this is, if we had our way, the Libertarian Party would nominate people in its own devices, so we need to control our party. Only control we have over it.
We're gonna take just a 60-second intermission because this is an important conversation and we lost audio on one mic. So talk amongst yourselves on this issue at the table. Have it out in just a second.
What is the position of the Green Party and the Constitution Party? It does sound like right now both the Green Party and the Constitution Party are planning on keeping their primary closed, as well as there is a minority of the Republican Party bringing up wanting to close their primary as well. Because most conservative Republicans are getting voted out by October, others who jump over and vote in the Republican primary.
Okay. So, yeah, wanted a short break. I'm not sure, did anyone over there even hear Matt? Okay, so that was the point of taking a short break. Now we're ready to go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be loud enough for everybody. And so the question that I had for Brian was, what are the two newest parties that are going to roll as far as the Green Party and the Constitution Party? What are they going to determine? It does sound like that both of those parties are planning on closing their primaries. There has been motions in the past, and there is a motion that some disaffected Republicans want to close their primaries, feeling that the most conservative Republicans are being watered down by independent voters coming in and diluting their vote. So it is an important step to consider, because you have to realize, you do have to realize the entire. There's multiple opportunities there, whether it's speaking independent voters, speaking libertarian-minded voters, versus protecting the brand, versus keeping people from blatantly rigging the system. If the Libertarian Party is the only party that has of the Green Constitution, we will be a right target potentially for ballot hijackers trying to ride that coattail in. So that is something you have to consider.
Brian, I have a question for you. If the state party accepts this resolution, when would it go into effect?
Well, I intend to offer a motion at the state convention to direct or to instruct the executive committee to close the primary. This is I'm just asking for the Wake County support for that, but it's a separate issue. But the state party has to tell the state board of elections by December 1st. And then once that's done, the primaries occur. And I do have intelligence from my contacts in both the Green and the Constitution Party.
I think I killed it.
That one doesn't work either. Change the battery.
Yeah, I pulled them out of the brand new just open case.
But my information from both the Constitution and Green Party, everything's gonna close the front. Also,
Yeah, this one working.
maybe it's sitting.
The other one doesn't work either. We're changing out the play. So again, talk about your, Brad, you wanted to do a presentation on this as well, I believe. Okay. So we're gonna, hold on, relax. Good. All right, you two killed this mic. I don't know what to do with you. Don't squeeze it.
But my information is the Constitution and Green parties who close their primaries. Those two parties also have a process on which they endorse a candidate. So even if somebody is a registered CP or GP, they get vetted by their state executive committee. It's kind of an odd thing. Again, but in my view, that's irrelevant. I don't care what they do. I don't care what the establishment does. I care what the Libertarian. This is solely a Libertarian issue. And I think it's time that we recognize the danger that we face as the only true alternative party in North Carolina. And we've had ballot status since 2008. People recognize that. And we've had a couple of examples even before we got on the ballot permanently. We had a gentleman come over from the Republican Party and challenged in the U.S. Senate race. And he was not as scary as the gentleman from Granville County. But, you know, it was an example. He deliberately actually stated at our state convention that if he won the nomination, and a certain Republican got nominated, he would drop out of the race. And go a certain Republican. Because his purpose of running as a Libertarian was to ensure that a conservative voice was on the ballot in November. Newsflash, the Libertarian Party is not a conservative party.
So I'd like to just take a couple of minutes to give a bit of background. This is obviously a significant issue, and at the last convention, the last LPNC convention last year, the party decided to form a committee to study and analyze and report back on this question. Both Brian and I served on that committee. Unfortunately, the committee itself had some issues, and in the fullness of time, both Brian and I resigned from that committee because it was essentially dysfunctional. We did, however, get a fair amount of information in terms of the research that was done. One thing that became evident that there is clearly, in terms of the number of unaffiliated who vote, if you look at all of the primaries that have occurred, 2000 was the very first one, was one for governor, although we're not actually sure whether it was open or closed back then. We can't get the data, so we're disallowing that one. But there was one in 2012, which was a presidential preference primary. There was the one that you mentioned that Sean ran against Tim D'Annunzio in 2014. There was one in 2016, which again was a presidential primary, a preference primary, and then there were 3 separate primaries in 2018. So the presidential preference primaries, the candidates are picked by the state party, and theoretically, the North Carolina State Board of Elections can add or subtract, but they never have. So there's no question of any ballot poaching in those primaries. We really have to throw those out, which leaves us with a total of 6 primaries that have occurred in which there are 3 instances, clear instances of ballot poaching, one of them being the one that Brian mentioned in Randolph County, and that's the only one where the poacher actually won. In a way, it's ironic that that's the poster child for this, this discussion, because he won by such an overwhelming amount that it's actually statistically very improbable that he did not win the Libertarian vote. He probably won the Libertarian vote, which means that if the primary had been closed, he would have won anyway. Of course, if the primary had been closed, he might have been scared off from running, in which case there would have been a primary. But it's clearly an issue, and I agree with actually most of the points that Brian has made. However, I do not believe that at this point in time we have enough data to say that this particular step at this point in time is the right thing to do. And to answer Bruce's question, yeah, I do think there are some downsides to taking this step. There are advantages to running in open primary. One of the advantages is that we get a list of unaffiliated, and as I think I mentioned, about 50, it's about 50-50 overall. Some primaries there were unaffiliated, and some primaries there's more libertarians, but over the course of history, it's been about a 50-50 split. So we actually have thousands of contacts. We have their names, we have their addresses, we have their phone numbers in some cases, not in Wake County, unfortunately, of unaffiliated who have voted in libertarian primaries. Now, there's no evidence that there's any value to these names because the party has never gotten its act together to actually contact these people. But we could be doing that, and we should be doing that. So one of the things that I think Brian and I both agree on is that we should take those lists and contact those folks at a minimum, find out why they voted in our primary, because we don't really know that. And then also to test to see if we can develop some prospects and supporters and volunteers and donors from those lists of people. If you were a candidate and you're running for General Assembly, and it's a week to go before the election, and you have another 1,000 people that you have time to go and canvass, and if you had a choice between a list of unaffiliated who had voted in a libertarian primary and a list of random, unaffiliated under 30, which list are you going to use? Clearly, it would be more valuable to talk to people who had an inclination, at least to vote for a libertarian in a primary. So there's definitely some value there. And if we close we can't close just some of the primaries, it's either all or nothing. So we have a presidential preference primary. We've had thousands of people from the 2012 and from the 2016 primary. If we close our primaries in 2020, we won't get such a list from the 2020 primaries. So that's a.
So there's a central point you want to make right here.
Right. So there are downsides to closing our primaries, and I don't think we're ready to do that yet. Although I do think we can study the situation.
Okay. Data is fine. We have thousands of names, but we haven't done anything with it. Presidential preference primary is perfect example. It's absolutely meaningless. It's a waste of taxpayer money. Because we do not choose our presidential candidate in primaries. We have a convention, Austin 2020, where people get gathered and they choose a candidate. So the president, we only have a presidential preference primary because the state wants it, and we give them names. It's meaningless. Again, that is, I don't care about, I don't care if we have 20 million unaffiliated voters voting on primary. It's meaningless. They're not libertarians. They have chosen to be unaffiliated for a reason.
Right.
They're fed up with the party system.
We need people to ask questions.
We pay for them in the general election.
Okay. Hey, I need to stop you for a second. You have gone back and forth for months on this, and I understand that. But I want to let the broader party here and the people who have questions speak. So you two now have both had quite a bit of time. So this group is now going to get to ask questions and participate in the conversation. Yes. You'll get your turn back, but after I've exhausted the audience.
My question is for Brad. So I'm a little confused. I thought my vote was essentially secret. How are we getting a long list of names after a primary vote?
That's an excellent question. Your vote is secret. That is to say, we don't know for whom you vote. But we do get a list of everyone who participates in any given election. So we know who voted. We don't know for whom they voted.
Where do we get that from?
The North Carolina State Board of Elections, upon request, will provide anyone who asks for a list of participants in a given election.
Anyone else have a pen would like to say something? Pen.
I'm going to say something. So as a marketing communications guy, I'm going to say that I think, well, of course, Matt made, I think, an excellent point that I want to double click on, which is what I would like to see is our libertarian candidates running on a libertarian platform using a libertarian message. And if we need to appeal to libertarians and to unaffiliated voters, then I believe that that message may necessarily get watered down. And so I do have a couple data points for that. I've worked on a number of campaigns, some of which are nonpartisan, where the candidate needed to appeal to a much broader group of people, in which case I feel that the libertarian message is not as strong necessarily because of that need to appeal. So if we do close our primaries and we do have multiple libertarian candidates, then we will hear a real discussion of ideas, of libertarian ideas, from two libertarian candidates who are appealing to libertarian voters. I was undecided coming into this, but I think I fall now onto the, I'm going to vote for this resolution.
Hi. Before I was libertarian, I was unaffiliated, and I participated in libertarian elections. So I know that is a helpful thing for some people. I would hate to see that go away. Also, I agree with Brad that being able to get that list of people and performing outreach is potentially extremely important. I don't know how much we're doing that right now, but I would hate to see that potential go away. Thank you.
Anyone else? Like I said, this is actually a difficult question. It's not as easy as, we love free countries.
So if we were sitting in the idealized world that we all vision, I would want it open to as many people as possible to be a part of that libertarian movement, to be in that participation. But reality has shown us that at some point down the line, our ballot access, and this is what it's about, ballot access, but the ballot access is so valuable that there are people who are willing to come in and attempt to hijack our ballot access. I'm saddened to have to say, actually, I would prefer that idealized perfect world where the unaffiliated voter all come and participate, want to be libertarians, they're uncomfortable in the beginning, in lower end. That's an ideal picture. But the reality is we've experienced it. The reality is we've seen it. The reality is, so against what I would want it to be, I will support the resolution as a condition of the value of that ballot access has become high enough that we've already invited folks to come in and attempt to corrupt what we believe in, and then attempt to corrupt our humanity.
All right, we're going to get two more. We got Travis, Bobby.
Bobby, I'd like to call the question. You'd like Travis to speak, that's the chair's prerogative.
Yeah, I'm going to give two more people. Travis is going to speak for just a minute or so.
Gotcha, boss. I'm a fan of closing the primaries to just libertarians with the point that you made to keep our message from being watered down to conservative, liberal, and to close it off to just libertarians. And I think our goal as a party needs to be to get the unaffiliated to switch to libertarian, switch their party affiliation to libertarian. That's one thing that I definitely want to work on is branding and marketing and education of what a libertarian is. And I'm in favor of closing it for that very reason is if they want to vote for libertarians, they need to be libertarians. And we need to grow this party, not necessarily try to bend for them, but we're the party. So I think our goal needs to be bring people into our party and get them to switch to libertarianism because they're obviously frustrated with the duopoly and the Tea Party system. So, with that said, I'm in favor of closing them.
So again, Chair has some prerogative. What your opinion, Bobby? No, I really do, because you're somebody we brought in at the very end, and then you ran for it. So I'm curious about your opinion. And Brian, I'll wait for you. I'm going to ask you next. Yes, you. How's it? Go ahead.
All right, I guess I'll give my opinion. I am in favor of closing the primaries for the same reasons that Travis had mentioned. I think it's easier for us to grow the party focusing on libertarians and kind of forcing people to merge into the party than try to fish and water down our message.
Thank you. Brian, now, do you want to, your thoughts, you came to, I think you may still be unaffiliated. Are you? Either way, I'm just curious because I know I can ask the opinion of people who've been here a long time and are kind of have their opinion. I'm more concerned about people that have been only around this for a year or two. That's part of that growth and recruiting. So, do you have an opinion you'd like to share or willing to?
A minute or less.
Sure.
I think it's not easy to get to know what a party is about until you get to the party. So, whatever way, I understand the idea of not wanting to water it down because you don't want to have people that are there just because they don't want to be one of the other two parties. They want people that want to be part of the party. Whatever process gets people to know, but you can't have people stay with us.
I appreciate it. I just wanted to get a couple more minutes. And we got two more, but we're doing a minute or less, so we're doing very well.
I just want to get a quick informal poll. How many people here were unaffiliated in the past 3 or 4 years or so and then switched to libertarian?
2, 3, 4.
30 seconds. 20.
What if our resolution were to request that the state party resurrect the study committee? I mean, where did the committee come to any kind of conclusions? Did it completely fall apart?
Yeah, so real quick, not speaking to that particular community, state committees are about a 50% success rate. We go to state conventions, we put a committee together, and about half of them go off. The bylaws committee did a fantastic job. Started early, and they already have their product done. Other committees have been less successful. Real briefly, at state conventions, sometimes we don't. People have their emotions and they want to be involved, and then a month later, they kind of forgot what they agreed to do. So,
If I may, this is the resolution that was passed by the state convention, and it talked about executive committee shall investigate cost changes, opportunities, and parties' policy on eligibility to vote in LPNC primary elections. That was the resolution. The resolution also called for a sound decision is needed before the next primary season, which was passed. So the state convention already instructed the state executive committee to form a committee, which they've done. But that committee to date has not made a recommendation to the report. Brad and I both are on the committee. I resigned because it was
So again, it's dysfunctional, and this is what happens when something fails. Yes. So exactly. So what happens is two people that really care are not doing what we're doing.
You want to call the question?
So this is the result. So if there is not somebody else with a new point to make, Owen has a new point to make.
Nuevo.
So please do remember that you can be unaffiliated and a member of that organization. So if you want to talk about closing it off to unaffiliated people, perhaps it's important to consider their ability to contribute to the public.
All right. So, Brad, please be sure.
If I may, I'd like to address the implicit questions, Ken and Travis. that in an unaffiliated, an open primary, you would have the opportunity to review the ability of our candidates to address libertarian issues in terms that would be accessible to broader ranges of voters. We are only 0.5% of the electorate, folks. We do need to get Democrats, Republicans, and unaffiliated to vote for us to be competitive. With respect to Travis's question on growth, again, I agree with that objective. I would point out that in 24 of the last 24 consecutive years, unaffiliated have outgrown Republicans, have outgrown Democrats, and Libertarians in 21 of those 24 years have outgrown unaffiliated. We are the top dog in growth. We're doing very well. The current situation is hurting the Democrats and Republicans more than it's helping Libertarians, and it's helping Libertarians quite a bit. So, in my opinion, growth ain't growth, folks. We don't need to fix it.
Okay. I am. I've had enough myself. So, those in favor of Mr. Brian Erding's resolution to advise the state at the LP&C convention to recommend that they close, correct me if anyone I missed this, that they close our primaries. Direct the executive committee. Keep your hands high because I don't count and I'm not very bright. All in favor, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All opposed. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, yeah. I lost. That's awesome. No, I mean,
All
it's
right.
great that, you know.
So the motion passes 11 to 8. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, we certainly won't make that to the LP&C, but if this is how the discussion is going to go at the state party, I did not. I'm a UC chair in this particular issue, and we've discussed this issue long enough. So with that in mind, like I said, this is something that clearly divides the group. So please continue to discuss this patiently in a civil manner with your fellow Libertarians and unaffiliated friends and what have you, because it's going to be an interesting discussion at the end of May, which is another reason why you're all attending the LP&C convention, that you have this discussion there. With that in mind, you guys are great people. It's been a lot of fun. I hope it continues to be a lot of fun. I think it will be. Is there any other business? Is there any other business that somebody would? We do have a cake to cut.
What do we do with this cake?
You generally eat cake. As vice chair, we'll have some more discussion.
Make sure
about
you get a
what's in the
picture
cake.
of it first. I got it.
That wasn't business meeting, but we will get to our cake.
Yes.
Thank you, Patrick, for bringing the cake. Does anyone else have any business that I need to be aware of? Vice Chair, we got to talk about what I mean.
We've got to fix this cake.
Does anyone else have any business to discuss? Can someone give me a motion to wrap this dog up?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yay!